Hi, Brian here at the old ambulance station in Banner Avenue, Griffith. We're absolutely honoured to be able to sell this property, and as part of it we thought we'd take a bit of a step back in time and look at the history of the ambulance station, the ambulance service in Griffith, and how it's helped shape us into the cultural city that we are today. The first origins of an ambulance service for Griffith date back to the 1930s, whereby two women by the name of Mrs. Love and Mrs. Burrell began organising the Griffith Ambulance Auxiliary. Within a short period of time, enough money had been raised to employ a superintendent secretary for the Griffith Ambulance Station, although there was no actual station or ambulance at that time. The history books show that one of the driving forces for the growth of the ambulance service in Griffith was the arrival of Charlie Tranter and his wife Queen in 1937. They brought with them their own enthusiasm, with Queen taking the distress calls and becoming the driving force of the auxiliary which raised funds to enable it to grow. The first ambulance station for Griffith was a rented house in Yamble Street, and the ambulance vehicle was Charlie Tranter's bicycle. When a call would come through, Charlie would tear off on his bicycle, fling it into the nearest doorway, administer first aid, then, if necessary, command a handy vehicle to drive patients to hospital. It was alleged that Fred Coles of Fred Cole Electrical fame, Red Truck, became the unofficial ambulance since Fred was a volunteer first aid officer. As soon as possible, the committee purchased a 5-row house in Binder Street, which also became the Tranter's residence and ambulance station. A second-hand Dodge ambulance was bought from Leeton. When it finished its service, it remained in use as a Meals on Wheels van. These were hard times considering Griffith's infancy, and it was not uncommon for the ambulance to be bogged on dirt roads and the doctor summoned to come out and meet the ambulance. Ill health forced Charlie Tranter to resign in 1958, and is without doubt that both he and his wife Queen are the pioneers of our ambulance service in Griffith. So much so they were given Griffith's first presidential farewell by the then Wade Shire Council due to their commitment, drive and dedication. Without them, we would not have an ambulance service that we have today. The site where I stand today was opened in 1959. The history books showed this was the home of the town tennis courts at that time, and the auxiliary committee fought really hard to have this as the ambulance station site. Council at that time wanted the ambulance station further east on Mackay Avenue, next to the Penfolds Winery site. We absolutely love the uniqueness of this site and the history that it holds.